Well, I believe in good vibrations is what creates a beautiful nation. All you need is the will to do right, do right, do right.
And we're live. Welcome to Anecdotally Arguments. This is our first mid-November show. We had an early November show before this one, and soon will be a late mid-November show, but this is the only mid-November show of the year. I'm your host, Jay Fry, and with me is Sean. How's it going, Sean?
It's Monday. We're here. What's there to talk about?
Well, give it a minute. Hold your horses. We got our own people introduced. And Garrick, how's it going, Garrick?
Can't complain. I'm from, the freest state in the country at the moment, I guess.
You're in New Hampshire?
So, not even remotely.
Not even remotely? What are you talking about? Who's more freer than Texas?
New Hampshire, first off.
Arizona?
Arizona's the second one. Also, Tennessee is doing pretty good. And is it Mississippi or Missouri who's got the... Wait, no, does Texas have the... You can manufacture firearms in Texas?
They had a deal to where you could manufacture suppressors, but it's actually... what is it? It's all bark, no bite.
Well, what is it? Missouri, Mississippi? One of those has it.
What?
Manufacture and full
Kansas
auto
has it.
production.
I know that.
Well, New Hampshire, anyway.
Kansas and Montana have that as well.
Montana? No, not Montana.
Yeah, they do.
Is it Montana? Okay. Point is, not you. Never you, sir. And Josh, how's it going, Josh?
It's going. I mean,
No humble brags about Oklahoma.
No humble brags about Oklahoma.
Texas's hat.
Hey, the frying pan state is, it's doing what it's doing.
Black Magic says New Hampshire's freedom is exaggerated.
Perhaps.
Just remember, it's not a crime unless you get caught.
Apparently. And even then, not necessarily a crime until Binger says it is and doesn't charge you for it. Hey, Binger, what exactly are you charging the guy who fired the shot into the air with again? What is that charge? Is it nothing? No,
he's been brought up on charges according to
arson. It's arson charges.
Yeah. Didn't say they were good charges. I just said he's been brought up on charges.
Then he also mentioned in his opening statement that he was charging Black with the firearms. And it's like, ooh, but that just got downplayed. So no, you're not really going to get that one either.
Well, to be fair, I mean, didn't he give Black a sweet deal? And he can't go back on
technically he did not.
Oh.
It was promised.
I'm
You
guessing
just have to betray your brother and best friend and send us video evidence of Kyle saying, man, if I had my AR, they wouldn't be robbing that CVS. Which apparently means Kyle wants to just go around killing everybody for property crimes.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, if I had my AR, that's CVS.
You'd be robbing the shit out of it, huh?
CVS. I'd just rob the CVS. Everybody else was. The fuck? Those Depor strips aren't going to buy themselves. Jesus Christ. Depor? Go up. Anyways, blackheads. Concentration.
You know Scotch tape works, right?
That's it.
99
Can
cents
Gorilla
a roll.
work?
Gorilla probably will work.
I know it's not good for hair. I read that somewhere. I believe it was on the packaging. So what do we have for tonight? Anybody want to talk about goddamn black pastors, or we just want to get in the Rittenhouse.
I don't care.
Did you hear literally a soundbite of the defense attorney in the Arbery case? It's like, I don't want to keep seeing these black pastors in the jury in the courtroom. He really meant to say celebrity pastors. Wrong.
Yes, he did.
Or he didn't, and that's what's going to happen in this case. Jesse Jackson shows up one day to sit with the mom. Sharpton's the next day. These black pastors in the jury could be affecting the jury.
I'm waiting for Sean White to show up.
Sean King?
Sean King, yeah. Sean White showing up would actually be pretty cool, too. Sean, where are you
Former
here?
pro skater. Next up, Tony Hawk will be in for Thursday. Testifying in the Rittenhouse case about how the whole reason that you added blood to your skateboards is because they're so innocent and they don't harm anybody. Just, you can't decapitate somebody with a skateboard. That's just common knowledge. So for those of you who have a life, which is not me, by the way, I have watched the entire trial, with the exception of a few hours of the closing arguments, because I wake up later than I'm able to watch everything before this goes on. But I can safely say, Vanger's a dick.
Yeah.
And I have never seen such sliminess.
I'm sure you have.
I watched 20 years of Law and Order, and each step of the way, the prosecution was like, well, we could include this if it wasn't prejudicial, so that's out. And at no point do they try to wiggle their asses into getting it put in. This guy has pulled every shitty move in the book and is still failing to convict the kid. I said over the weekend, and here's how you know that the judge watches things on the court, is today he decided the gun charge was gone. He didn't actually void it for vagueness, but it was voided for vagueness. I don't think it should have been voided for vagueness, even though that's what the lawyers called it. It was clear to me. Either you're under 18, with exceptions of this or this. And
It's not
didn't have
or.
the first exemption.
It's this
Huh?
and the way the law is written. It's this and that. It's two things you have to qualify.
Yeah. But there's this and this, or this. And he had the or. He had. I've been taking my nephews shooting since they were 12, and on 2 occasions I've had to sit them out there and let them watch us shoot because they forgot their permit, their hunting license. And I felt that the appropriate. One time they forgot. Charlie forgot his license, and we went and got ice cream instead. Second time he forgot his license, where he knew we were going to go shooting, and he still forgot his license. I had him sit out there, and my wife would shoot, and I would sit with him while she was shooting. I would go shoot while she sat with him, and that was to teach him a lesson. You don't bring your stuff, you miss out. There's no way around it. We give you the one shot, you screwed it up second time and third time. Did it again. You're sitting it out this time. There's no excuse for it. But we have the same law. It's not as vague, but because we don't care about our inner city crime in Michigan. Under 16 with a hunting permit. Over 16 with not a short barrel rifle, which that's the vague part because it doesn't talk about that. It talks about the legal lengths. because really this law is about inner city gun violence use with pistols and kids. So it's not as vague as some nonsensical law. It's clear. He did not provide the full use, so it doesn't count against him. It's that simple. But I think it's about time for this judge to be done with his career anyway.
This will probably be his last major case, I'm sure.
I think this was his only major case he's ever had. I mean, he's a judge in Kenosha.
Yeah. Definitely the scrutiny anyway. But so there was that, the void for vagueness. Then there was not allowing in the blurry zoomed in image. Even though every other aspect of that particular thing should have been fought with the defense. Because it was every time it was bullshit. First time it was brought up was by the Armenian mafia detective, where he zoomed in on his own iPhone and saw it. That should have been stricken. That should have been an objection for the defense. The fact that it was allowed to be brought in, that to establish that in the courtroom, somebody had to see it happen, not on video. And that was the Zeminskis. And they didn't bring them in to testify, even though they have cases against the Zeminskis. And the defense fucked up, sat on their hands, didn't object nearly as much as somebody who's watched Law and Order would have objected more. And been right to do so.
Shut up. Aw, kitty.
Like, for instance, I've seen repeatedly in this trial that the objections, how could they have known that? When that's not the technical objection. The technical objection is hearsay. But the judge had allowed to actually cut to the point instead of having to cite the actual objection standard. So at this point, Kyle could have taken a better defense of himself. And it's true, you don't interrupt the enemy when they're making a mistake, but still, you don't let them badger your kid who's on the stand and broken down. Also, that was Kyle had a PTSD moment. LeBron. He didn't cry because of a Nike contract, you fucking piece of shit. Alec Baldwin cried when he killed somebody. Is that not allowed now?
It's allowed for him. It was just a
problem. By the way, Alec Baldwin only has one less death on his hands than Kyle. So Alec Baldwin's tied with everything that happened at January 6th or the Unite the Right event. In fact, more so, because there were less injuries. But what did you guys see that really irked you about Binger or Kraus?
His lack of firearm safety.
Lack of firearm knowledge. I'm still looking for those 5.56 rounds that explode.
Yeah, me too. I mean, frangible rounds do exist. But
the flop accusing anyone of acting. Those steel jacketed rounds that don't exist. I really like those.
I mean, there are tungsten core 5.56 rounds.
And they're steel core, same thing.
Yeah, well, the tungsten's a little bit different. I mean, we're not allowed to have those. Those are actual AP rounds. The green tips are not AP. They're AP rounds, but they're not AP rounds. AP just doesn't mean armor piercing. It means anti-personnel. The 62 grain green tips are anti-personnel rounds. It's mainly to compensate for the shorter barrel lengths of 16 inches versus the standard, what was originally what the 55 grain was
20
designed for,
20
barrel
inches.
length, which was the 20 inch.
Mm-hmm.
So the 62 was to get around that because the 55 grain doesn't stabilize in flight as well. So that's why they created heavier loading bullets, but then you start losing some range.
Mm-hmm.
And
But I couldn't believe it is so well understood that people run to fire that when you don't see a fire but see somebody running for no reason, you yell at them, "Where's the fire?" And, well, for the last generation did that anyways. My grandpa used to do it all the time. "Where's the fire?"
yeah,
But
my mom and dad used to say that.
yeah, it's
I was
like
in a rush.
exactly. It's an older generational thing, and Binger's haircut is only 6 years old at this point, so he wouldn't know.
Well,
But it's like that's a modern understanding. You run towards fire. Like, there were fires all over that night. Yeah, not in cars. A dumpster's not going to explode. I've never seen a dumpster explode in a Michael Bay movie. You're looking at a 17-year-old kid who has grown up on Michael Bay movies. The car's going to explode. And chances are, rounds are going to cook off and fire in indiscriminate directions because that car exploded. Even though that doesn't happen in real life. And cars don't explode in real life.
Well, let's not negate the fact that they were pushing a lit dumpster towards a gas station.
that they were doing.
Why'd you put it out, man? I can't believe this trial actually went before a jury and has been wrapped up today. This is insane. The level of douchebaggery I've seen between Krautz and Binger. And the judge is in awe of it as well, but still letting it happen. And Binger has spent most of his judicial life, as far as being in that branch of government, going up against this judge. He knows this judge, and he's pushed these judges' buttons every time he's gone in front of him. He knew he was getting away with everything he got away with, including the Fifth Amendment argument, including trying to work in things that weren't normally worked into. And the judge is just... It was sad to see how they were cheating the system with a judge that loved the system so much.
Yep. Well, I mean, yeah. He wants it to work. I hate to say it, but I agree with Tim Pool on this. He wants the system to work so bad. He's willing to not throw out the case in order to make sure that the system works. But Tim is right in the aspect of that there's a side that does not have morals, nor do they believe in our system, so they don't care if they break the rules. So
Well, I think that works out mostly against us, but in the end, it would work for us. I think this judge, who believes in a system so much, that if they were to come back with guilty on all counts, he would throw it out.
I don't know if he would.
Because he failed in his duty, that he understands this. The judge let Kyle come up right next to his shoulder and watch the same video he did.
Yeah.
There's memes of it as if they both had PlayStation controllers in their hands. But you don't do that with someone you actually think is a killer. Unhandcuffed, unrestrained, perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And for a kid who apparently has only had 100 rounds through his gun before the event happened to him, exceptional.
Yeah.
Like, the next time I see Travis Haley, I'm going to slap him with Kyle Rittenhouse.
Well, can we just talk about his awesome TikTok username?
4 doors, more horrors.
Yes.
I tried to look it up,
That
and
shit
there are
was
literally
hilarious.
hundreds of TikTokers with that name.
That shit was hilarious. I chuckled quite a bit when he actually said that. I was like, that was his username?
Yeah,
That's
4
awesome.
doors, more horrors, and I was like, that's pretty hilarious.
I don't get it.
You can fit more women into a 4-door than you can a 2-door.
Oh, gotcha.
4 doors for more horrors.
Okay.
Anything else we need to explain to you, Sean?
That would be it.
Where do babies come from?
That one I
I
know.
had to.
We got 4 of them.
When 2 gays love each other very much, the court steps in.
And then you
Anyway.
can take a 2-month paternity leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
speaking of,
eternity.
did you hear about the? Hold on, I gotta find it. It was like right on my main page. This guy. Yeah, it's coming up. Employers. This is from Gregory McClevin. I don't know who he is. Employers, consider giving your black employees a day or 2 off after the Rittenhouse verdict. Regardless of the outcome, it's going to be hard for black people to work, and it isn't fair to expect them to.
Why? No black person was killed.
Yeah.
You know, it ogles the mind that these people.
Did you say ogles?
Yes.
Isn't it boggles?
Ogle.
Boggles or ogles, I don't really give a shit.
You
Okay.
ogle a hot chick. It
Boggles my
you.
mind. There, Jesus fucking Christ.
Thank you.
I've been dealing with shit all day, so excuse me. Not literal shit, but stupidity of life. So that these people, I mean, what I was seeing, it looked like that there were some people that were surprised to find out that the people that Kyle Rittenhouse had shot were white.
Oh, hold on. I've got a. So this girl, and it's been talked about in a couple of places. Her name is Sarah Beth. She's a intelligent liberal. Oh, come on. What's taking you so long, fucking potato? So Sarah Beth Berwick said, I am a highly educated and reasonably perceptive, and it was only today that I learned the Kyle Rittenhouse victims were white. My progressive bubble made this seem a very different case than it is. And it got nearly 20,000 likes and nearly 5,000 retweets. My response is, when did you learn the business he was protecting was minority owned? And the militia that they tried to link him to was Latino. Did you know Kyle's entire family, with the exception of his mom and sister, lived in Kenosha? 2,300 likes. My fucking thing's been glowing for 3 days and I can't stand it. No, it's 5 days. It's been going for 5 days. And there's 82 retweets. Just assholes keep replying to it. But it's like, honest to God, no one ever understood anything about this case, besides for the people who were defending Kyle. Everyone who was attacking the defense of Kyle knew exactly what was happening. Or everybody who was defending Kyle had taken the time and looked into it. Everybody who was attacking them have no fucking idea what was going on. Anna Kasparian had to walk back most of what she said. Chris Haynes has walked back what he said and has changed his tune. And he's wrong there too. He changed his tune to, do we really want to live in a society where conflict is solved at the end of a gun? Yeah, I've always wanted that. I want to shoot my enemies with my pistol or rifle, preferably at 300 yards.
I have to admit, though, I did crack up quite a bit when Binger brought up that he did not have a handgun for defensive use. He couldn't legally possess a handgun.
Yeah. And you know who else couldn't legally possess a handgun? Hero of the day, Gage Grosskreutz.
Yeah, I know.
That never got mentioned. It simply was just said, like, oh, it had expired. Did it expire? Or was it canceled due to felony?
Well, what pisses me off about Grosscuts is that the the mass media is the corporate media is saying that he is the lone survivor of that night. I'm like, okay, number one, you've got a guy that you didn't identify at all, jump kick guy.
I don't understand how any charges could be got because Kyle can't face his accuser.
Right. And then the other one that they have filed charges for is Richie McGinnis. Richie McGinnis is a survivor, is he not?
Yeah, technically.
Yeah, except that he's pro self-defense for Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to ignore him and pretend he doesn't exist, even though he's literally charge number 2.
Yeah. And they focus too much on that charge, too. Here's how it works. If Kyle defended himself against Joseph Rosenbaum, he cannot be charged with recklessly endangering Richie McGinnis.
Yeah, because it's incidental.
Because of its incidentalness. And if that charge isn't given to him, the other charges of murdering, because it's still murder, killing of Anthony Huber, who was attacking him with a skateboard. That's self-defense.
I think the state wouldn't have even brought a case had Kyle finished the job with Grosscuts. This is why you shoot to kill.
He just saved $10 million.
Yeah, you shoot to kill, and this is exactly why.
You shoot to stop. You shoot to stop. Killing is incidental. You're wanting the threat against your life to end, not to end the threat against your life. Subtle difference.
Center of mass. That's all I'm saying.
And literally, in the case of Gage Grosskreutz, that's exactly what the left wanted. This is a man with a gun in a situation, and Kyle shot an extremity instead of killing the kid. That's the outcome you want. Shoot him in the leg. You've been saying it for 4 years. You finally got that outcome.
Well, technically,
How
they
are
got
you not
that.
happy?
They got that outcome with Jacob Blake. That dude's still rolling around.
Yeah.
That got brought back up too. And it's like, how do you not understand the situation surrounding Jacob Blake? Jacob Blake had a knife. The car he was circling was not his car. They didn't find the knife inside the car. He had the knife on the outside of the car. The car he was attempting to get into was the victim of his sexual assault. The kids in the car, 2 of the 3 were his. The third one was not. He was getting into the car to kidnap. The cops had been in a scuffle with him, and he broke free from it, and they had not shot him until he got to the door of a vehicle in which he could ride off with 3 kids he was kidnapping. The cops did not fear for their lives, they feared for the children's lives. And in attempting to not cause harm in front of the children, they were forced by Jacob Blake to open fire on him. Do you know why they shot Jacob Blake 7 times?
Because they ran out of bullets.
Thank you, Trey, for 7.
I'm just saying it's accurate.
It's not.
I
They got 14.
don't know what juror it was, but that's what got that juror kicked off this case. What's not accurate?
The cop magazines hold 14.
I don't know.
Depends which one they are carrying.
Michigan carries 40. Here in Tennessee, they carry 9. So could be anywhere from 16 to 14.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the Glock 17 held 17.
It does, but they don't top off.
Oh.
It's a count thing. 3 rounds, 17 each. Not 217, 117 plus 1. It's an accounting thing. It's bullshit. But also, gauge doesn't top off either.
But he does roll
Because-
chambered.
Yeah.
Thank you,
that
hot
pissed me
cop.
off.
So you couldn't remember
I
if he did or
don't
not.
remember. Oh yeah, go on, Josh.
Yeah, he couldn't remember if he carried one in the chamber. I don't know what asshole that is in the concealed carry world or carries a firearm world doesn't know if he carries one in the chamber or not.
Okay.
Look,
There,
regardless of whether you do or don't carry one in the chamber, the answer is always yes, because you always act as if it is loaded with one in the chamber. So the answer is always yes.
yes, Garrick, but no, Garrick. there is no regardless of. It's just simply always acts as if a gun is loaded. However, you either carry hot or you don't. There's 2 schools of thought. One, somehow I have enough time to rack the slide and get a bullet in there so that I can self-defense myself, or you already carry it like a normal, sane human being. Those are the 2 options. Either way, if there's one in the chamber. That is different from knowing and actually having one in the chamber, because there have been times where people who always carry hot have somehow managed to not have one in the chamber. And there have been times somebody who doesn't carry hot has managed to have one in the chamber. Either way, there may or might not be one in the chamber, but what condition you carry your pistol in. You could be wrong, but you know how you always carry your pistol.
Can you dig it?
Can you dig it?
Yeah, sorry.
I don't care. I'll fucking text you right now. I don't give a shit.
Do it. I'll just fill the stream with it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it.
God, you called me out, and I'm not going to do it.
It's because you can.
But you... The one thing I have against Kyle is he loaded a magazine with 30 rounds, and that was it. That's it. That irks me for like a variety of reasons, but since he never reloaded, I'm gonna let him have it. But both military guys loaded 28 plus 1. But Gage loaded a 10-round magazine and didn't fill up his mag. I don't know what the hell his problem is, but I don't know who points a gun and doesn't intend to shoot, but that apparently is Gage as well. He was just a good boy. We have examples on video of Kyle wrapping an ankle. We have testimony of him treating a hand wound, and multiple testimonies of him treating pepper spray or macing. Kyle, the uncertified, untrained medic. Yet Gage was out there in the exact same situation with an illegal firearm and no accounting for any medical aid he gave that night.
There are tons of stories online. I looked that up today.
Not in the trial.
Not in the trial, no, but there are tons of stories that the press has taken care of, so that gets backed up in the public consciousness. There's actually several photos of him tending to people who are incapacitated or wounded or hurt or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, because you help your comrades.
Right. I'm just saying that's a real thing, even though it didn't come up at the trial. So,
What What are we fighting about here? Because I'll kick your ass.
We're not
Doesn't
fighting
mean
about
what's
anything. I don't like the guy. I think the guy should have died. I wish he had. Life would be a lot better with scum like that removed from the gene pool. But tit for tat, the only difference between the two of them is, well, two differences. One was carrying a pistol, one was carrying a rifle. Like, it makes a fucking difference. And then one was carrying legally and one was carrying illegally.
That's how that ended. And Kyle would have had a pistol if it would legally have been able to carry it. Rifles cost more than pistols. Rifles are bulkier than pistols. But if you're in a gunfight, you want a rifle over a pistol. My case of example is Kyle has 2 biceps. Gage only has 1.
Yes.
I don't know, dude. Fucking pistols and rifles are running neck and neck for price-wise, as far as I can tell.
Oh, God. What are you buying? Well, you're an asshole.
High point rifles and HK pistols, perhaps.
Pretty much. Pretty much. No, but like generic brand ARs are running what, between $600 and $900?
I have
Unless
not
you're getting
seen
kind of
any less
Gucci-ish.
than 1,200. I haven't even seen a basic bitch AR less than $1,200.
Really? Where are you
Yeah.
shopping at?
Nah, just poking around. I'm not as much of a nut about the firearms as you guys are, so I just poke around. I don't know all
Well,
the tips and
That's
tricks.
why you have the nuts find you a rifle. Dum-dum.
Truth.
I'm just looking for a Gen 4 Glock 19.
I have some,
MOS.
but I ain't selling you any.
Yeah, well, I'm just looking around for that, and I'm not finding it. But even then, I've seen Glocks up to $720.
Yeah, I
Basic
haven't
models.
seen that. Which is
So that is, like, the Glock price today is the same price 10 years ago I bought the M&P Sport for.
yeah, but you're finding decent pistols in the $400 to $500 range. I mean, the Canics I think are the peak as far as that price range goes.
Yeah, but there's no police department using Canic. I mean, you got to go with SIG, M&P, or Glock.
H&K.
Well, I mean, M&P is beating out
H4s.
Glock price wise.
I don't know any police department that uses HK pistols. Anybody got one?
Nope.
What H&K?
Yeah,
No.
I don't know of any cops that use HKs either. Most of them are basic bitch Glock bitches.
Oh yeah.
I can't. Don't you have a Glock?
Nope.
Nope.
You didn't get a Glock 19?
He has 6 hours.
Yep.
You didn't get a Glock 19.
No, I did not get a Glock 19.
Did you get a Glock 17?
No. I'm not
So
a
you
big
just
fan
got
of,
your
of Dr. G-Lock.
So just your 2
Wait.
SIGs in.
What's the SIG that you're rocking? It's the one that's chambered in that weird caliber, right?
Yeah, 357 SIG.
357. Which one is it? The 226?
Oh, shit. I can never remember the designation on this one. I want to say it's a 235, but I'm not 100% sure. It's a small form factor 357 SIG, swaps into a 40 barrel.
Yeah.
It's locked up, and I'm not going to go dig it out.
All right. I'll Google it.
And then I have a 228, which is a German Police 9.
229's coming 357.
I thought 229 was 45.
It's an option.
Oh, yeah. I don't like that.
They need to standardize, caliber to numbers and shit, because they're all over the place between brands and shit.
Well, you do that, but then you get the Glock situation where the Glock 21 is a 45, the Glock 45 is a 9mm, and the Glock
Right.
40 is a
A
Glock
10 millimeter.
how you don't make a Glock 45 that's a 45, I don't understand.
Because they're trolling us. Don't you
Yeah,
understand?
They and it's not even a traditional. Like, they took the Glock 45 is half a Glock 19 and the other half a Glock 17, and they had a baby. in the wrong way. Like,
And a butt baby.
as a butt baby.
Here we go.
Like, speaking of butt babies, how's Zebram X Kindy doing?
Haven't heard hide nor hair of him in a couple of weeks.
Well, I did see something come out from Tariq Nasheed.
Ooh. Hey, Sean, get a Glock 32. It's also chambered in 357 SIG.
I don't like Glocks.
Hey, Sean, get a Glock.
Yeah, he shot my 19. He did not like it.
Oh, what
right.
fuckery.
Yeah, it's going to be a 226, a 229, a 239. Is that it?
Yeah, it could be a 239. It's a small form
Yeah,
factor.
that makes
That's
more
it.
sense, 239.
Yeah.
239. All right. Respect.
Garrick, take your fucking John Browning bullshit and get out.
No, fuck you. He's the father of all pistols. Go fuck yourself.
He's the father of tilting lock action. Yes.
Of all modern pistols, yes.
I shoot Beretta. Get out.
Colt would
Well,
like to
you,
have a
sir, are
word.
wrong.
Yeah.
You need to fix yourself.
What?
You know
Well,
why?
I can
Garrett's
appreciate a heavy war club. Come on, man.
I mean, the only reason Garrick shoots 45 is because they don't make 46.
Come on, man.
They do make
They
10 mil,
do.
though, and I'm tempted.
It's just flintlock.
It's 1 millimeter better than 9. Just saying.
I mean, 10 millimeter is
Best
mucho
millimeter?
awesome.
10 millimeter is bullshit invented by the FBI.
It'll kill bears, so I'm okay with 10 millimeter.
Yeah.
Kill bears, I won't kill defendants, though. Fuck FBI, you suck.
10 millimeter is running
That's
more
just because they
expensive than my
started to have a lot of
357 SIG.
agents that couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Oh, wait a minute. What happened when they started admitting, when they started trying to adopt this new caliber? Oh, yeah, they started having a lot of female FBI field agents.
And
Yeah,
that's
but
how we
Sean,
got the
you-
40.
You know what's the great benefit of 10 millimeter? Is that you use 45. I mean, you use 40 you use 40 caliber components to load it, and guess what? Nobody reloads 40 cal.
That's because 40 is terrible.
Yeah, nobody reloads 40 Smith and Wesson. Nobody.
I've shot 40 for over a decade, and 40 is not terrible. It is snappy, but I've never seen somebody who calls it snappy also be able to double tap. So
The 357
Watch your firearm
SIG
magazine
is definitely
bullshit.
more snappy than the 40.
I like the
And-
357 SIG. I mean, I've shot it before, well, that caliber, but in a different frame. So
I think GRU uses 357 SIG,
GRU? Yeah, I think they do too.
but I think they're the only ones.
Yeah. There's not many that use it.
Yeah.
It is kind of a custom round, but it is still cheaper than the 10 mil that I've looked at recently.
But 10 mil is better. Just saying.
In what way?
It has more energy. That's
Okay.
what. There's a little bit more velocity too. Mass and velocity go together. hand in
If
hand.
you're shooting 10 mil, you might as well shoot 45.
No. 45 is slower. That's why. 10 mil has velocity. 45 ACP doesn't have the velocity that a 10 mil wishes that it does have.
Big iron. Go long, Colt.
40. Okay, I'll tell you what. Go shoot a fucking windshield with 45 ACP. Tell me what happens with the bullet. It won't go through it. It'll bounce off.
Yeah, but the second one will.
Yeah, the second one will go through it, but I could just shoot once with the 10 mil and go right through it.
I can shoot once with a 40 and go through.
Exactly. 45 is great 120 years ago. Now, not so much. It's great
What a-
for a subsonic round. It's great for a
110
blinking
years
round.
ago.
But at the end of the day, 45 is a little long in the tooth.
My 2 World Wars, bitch.
Yeah. 9mm was also in both those wars too. The same.
On the Russian side.
You're thinking 7.62 by 25 Tokarev.
No, I'm thinking of their sniper rifle was 9 by
Ugh.
26. 9 by.
No.
Riveting gun minutia.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So Binger is a dick, and within every third sentence, he negates the original sentence. It was insane to watch. He blames Kyle for bringing a weapon to a riot. And within the 3 sentences, he's talking about how everybody there was up to no good. Kyle was there up to good. He went from... Okay, one of the things that irks me the most is Kyle's in Kenosha. He had been to that place the very day. He talked to Sam and Sal and all that stuff. When asking for the address to the car source, there's 3 goddamn car sources. Asking for the address gets you to it, because when you say on Sheridan, all 3 of them were on Sheridan. It was a shady business. It was a car junkyard, basically a lot, the dealership that sold the cars, and the repair shop that fixed the cars. They bought cars at auction, put them in their lot, and would run them through. When they'd fix them, they'd put them on the car lot to sell. 3 spots pretty close together. Asking for the address was necessary. Plus, Kyle wasn't the driver that night. It was Kenosha boy Daniel was the driver. So needing the address was perfectly reasonable.
Was Gross Cuts a Kenosha resident?
No, Milwaukee. His roommate was that Marshall kid, who the defense also failed to ask a simple question. Would you lie for your best friend? Because he claimed he did. Gage didn't say he'd want to empty the mag into his head. I said that for Gage. Would you lie for your best friend? If he answers yes, that's clear because he did lie for his best friend. If he answers no, his testimony is a lie because he had lied for his best friend.
Yeah, the defense definitely is underperforming, but I don't know that that's a huge negative.
It has been. All but one of the major points of this case have been on the prosecution side. Richie McGinnis saying he said fuck you and reach for the gun was done by the prosecution. The closest they get is Gage Grosskreutz, when Gage admitted Anthony Huber was using deadly force against Kyle, and Kyle did not fire until his gun was pointed at Kyle's head. Every other point was delivered by the prosecution to free Kyle.
I got bogged down on a conference call when the defense was giving the majority of their closing statements. Did the defense point out that the first time Grosscuts put his hands up and backed off, Kyle could have shot but did not? And that
I've got that
only...
far. I'm still on. I'm still on the prosecution's closing.
Okay.
Josh, did you see it? I would be surprised if they didn't.
And I do not like this state gets second bite at the apple closing thing.
In Michigan, defense rests and then prosecution rests. In Wisconsin, prosecution goes to set the stage. Defense closes to correct every lie apparently prosecution tells, and then prosecution gets to come back and tell all those lies over again. That's some bullshit.
It is some bullshit.
Especially in this case when they're outright lying. There are lies being told encountered in the same paragraph.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing that the state is just so distasteful in this one, because Binger is just smarmy, arrogant, judge-fighting prick, which I think
The left loves it.
which the jury should see, number one. And what's his name? Krause, Jabba the Hutt on the prosecution there, is just somebody you're going to look at and go, yeah, you've had one too many Oreos, you fat fuck. He's just anything he's gonna say, and I hate to. I'm gonna be fat phobic. He just comes across as like the fat cat from the Punch and Judy cartoons.
Way to not date yourself there, bro.
I'm old, damn it.
I'll save my comments for in your wheelchair. And I'm at least 4 steps above you. The thing that kind of, like, I think it's not fair is Krause's pretty much resting face was his head in his hands the entire trial. So that picture of him face palming was kind of, you could have taken that at any point in the trial.
Every time he was
Every time the camera panned over, he was face palming.
Every time he was set at the desk and the camera would show him, I was kind of expecting Salacious Crumb on the side just giggling his ass off, because the dude looks like fucking Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, oh god. And Binger with his Rebel Alliance bullshit. Oh, today's my pin is Sherlock Holmes. Today it's the Rebel Alliance. I also have a Millennium Falcon pin.
Yeah, I hope Binger gets rolled in an alley later.
You realize you are the Emperor, right? Like, you're a prosecutor for the state.
Well, I am Team Snowflake, so the Empire did nothing wrong.
I'm Team what the hell was that thing I heard once? That annoying guy was a Sith Lord. The water creature.
Oh, Jar Jar?
Sure.
Yeah, Jar Jar Binks.
I didn't watch since since Han shot first.
Yeah. Well, that would have made
But
for an
there was
interesting story if that would have been true. Darth
Apparently there was
Binks.
enough evidence to cover a 30-minute video on it. So, no one's watching. What do we want to talk about now? Now that we got the riffraff out of the room.
It's the same 3 people. Nephilim, Poet, and Black Magic.
If Kyle doesn't walk, then this isn't about Kyle Rittenhouse as much as this is the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. This is about your Second Amendment right to defend yourself in a riot.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, with it going to the jury, I'm very concerned that they're going to come back with... They'll probably go backwards, and they'll probably say Grosscuts was self-defense, Huber was self-defense, McGinnis doesn't matter, and that Rosenbaum is probably going to be a lesser charge. They're going to split the difference. They're not going. It's not going to be a clean break.
And that's something that's not really talked about. Kyle realized Rosenbaum was chasing him. Kyle pointed his gun at Rosenbaum. Rosenbaum continued running, and Kyle ran. Kyle ran until he got blocked off in a dead end and turned around and was forced to engage with him. The deterrence is I'm pointing my gun at you. That's your warning shot. He
All right,
kept
so
running anyways.
I'm going to spoil this for you because I did catch the very end with Krause doing his rebuttal. They tried to argue that Kyle should have used quote-unquote physical deterrence rather than the firearm, not realizing that the firearm is physical deterrence.
So Binger did the 2.5 hours, and the rebuttal of a half hour was Krause?
Yeah, and the rebuttal is not a half hour. Just so you know, it's like 45 minutes. There was no clock on either one of these. And the state knew it, and the state abused it.
God damn, that's so shady.
And during the rebuttal, Krause fucked up just Binger style twice, made the judge send the jury out, and berated Krause about his line of whatever he was saying during his rebuttal, and said you can't do that. You didn't call who's the guy who shot first? Not Zimmerman. Zukowski.
I just said his name. Something like that. Alex Blaine was his name, his alias.
Yeah, whatever. But he basically went on saying this, that, and the other thing about them, and the judge is like, wait a minute, that's not in evidence in this trial. You didn't call these guys. You can't say that when it's not evidence in the trial. And then they brought the jury back in, and he immediately did the same thing again. And the judge is like, hang on, go back out into the library. And he berated him again.
Without did the defense object, or did the judge stop it?
I don't know, because that was right when I was rejoining. Yeah, I don't know that.
Later.
I don't think the defense can object during a closing statement.
Yeah, you can. You can't just lie.
This trial proves that you absolutely can.
Yeah, it does. The judge is past his prime. I would have ruled a mistrial, apparently.
Well, and
I am much more biased, though. The judge is biased in his own right. He's biased towards
the system.
The system, yeah.
Which I get, and I can kind of appreciate, but when the state uses that to their advantage because they just don't care about the rules, like if you care about the system, you got to care about the rules. And the state is abusing the rules and abusing and pushing this judge's tolerance levels for it. The problem is if you have a mistrial, the state's just going to come right back at it again. You have to have a mistrial with prejudice.
Yeah.
And the judge just does not want to do that.
Well, it'll be over tomorrow. I can't imagine any way this is more than a day.
Well, they are saying it could possibly go for a few days before they reach a verdict.
No, it can't. No possible way. There is going to be one asshole as stubborn as I am, was not willing to convict, and any number of people, apparently 5 fuckers in that courtroom for the entire 2-week period, wore masks. So if they can't argue, it's hung jury. That hung jury will be hung in a day.
Well, you got to remember the first thing they're going to do is pull lots to see who the 12 are, and the extra 6 are going to have to go sit somewhere. And if there's a hung jury...
That didn't happen today?
No. It didn't. That's the first thing they're going to do tomorrow morning.
So the 18 fucking dudes are talking to each other now.
No.
Not now, but...
No, they got sent home for the night. And they're not going to start... They're not allowed to talk about the trial. They're not allowed to watch the news, supposedly. They're not allowed to do anything but wait till tomorrow morning. But when they get pulled into the courtroom again, and they're going to draw lots, and the 6 jurors that aren't going to be seated on the jury have to go sit in a room somewhere and wait it out. And if the jury hangs, they're going to find out how many people it takes that are being obstinate on this, that is hanging the jury, and they're going to replace them with one of the 6 or multiple of the 6, depending on how many there are. This can go a couple of days, but I think that Jay's right. They're going to find out if this jury is going to hang within that day. I think they will. But all that's going to result in is, okay, we're swapping out juror 18 for juror 12. We're swapping out juror 7 for juror 16.
I don't think they can do that.
That's why that. Well, no, that's why they didn't limit it to 12 to hear the case.
Well, you always have alternates.
Right, but what good is an alternate
never
if
heard
you
of
can't
that, and my
alternate?
degree is in criminal justice.
Why have alternates if you can't alternate? That's why they're not going to be free to go once they select the 12. They have to go sit in a room and wait it out.
Well, that's standard because while they're arguing it over, some dude could have a heart attack. Some woman could go into labor. Somebody could come down with COVID.
I guarantee you that there's going to be somebody hawking this. And my understanding is that there's one black person on the jury.
Yeah.
And
Which
I
would
guarantee
be hilarious
you
if they didn't make the 6, or if they made the 6 and not the 12.
Yeah. Guarantee you that if that person does not make it onto the 12, there's going to be all kinds of hell that's going to break loose.
Yeah, never mind the fairness of a random draw.
Right. And that doesn't matter because it doesn't represent diversity. Dude, come on. You know these arguments. You know how this shit goes.
Speaking of Michigan, their election, they got a city council that is 100% Muslim, and Dave Rubin responded because it's the highest diversity city council in the state, and Dave Rubin responded, "I don't think they understand what diversity means," and somebody quote tweeted that and said, "The left is finally understanding what their definition of diversity is."
So
the white supremacists that failed to shoot a black man, killing 2 whites and wounding a 3rd.
Yep. I did a little bit of
is technically white.
Google foo and found out that Kenosha itself is only like 8 or 9% non-white.
So 91% white in a jury of 20 should have 2. There's 18 and there's 1. If there were 2, that would be overrepresentation.
Just saying. They're going to complain about the lack of racial diversity on the jury. It's coming. Be prepared.
I'm complaining about a lack of racial diversity in the victims.
Ouch.
This was supposed to be Black Lives Matter, after all.
Which is, yeah, again, that goes back to the story about that chick you said that I just now realized that none of the victims were people of color.
Yeah. Speaking of, I'm disappointed that no one shot that night was female. Because I've watched this trial. I've watched the footage. I've watched the videos. I watched the videos last year when they were live. Shoot more mouthy black women. Everybody needs to start doing that. That'll keep you from getting into trouble later. If you just shoot the black women now. Get his shit, wreck his shit, shoot that black bitch. Also, this will be up for 1 week and then deleted so that the prosecution can't use that in any of my future cases.
Yeah, but I mean, where's the charges of incitement for that?
They didn't even get Zemeckis, whatever the fuck his name is, on firing the gun. Just arson. And that's probably not even his charge. He probably took that from somebody who forced the charge, because there's video evidence of him starting fires and firing his pistol.
So here's another question I have. They had a search warrant for Grosskut's phone, but didn't serve it. So they technically didn't have the contents of his phone, yet I know for a fact they entered into evidence his video of him running down the street after Kyle. Where did that video come from?
He videotaped it to Facebook Live.
So they got it off of Facebook, not off of his phone.
Yes.
Okay.
But the same victim status of Gage Grosskreutz should be the same victim status as Richie McGinnis. Richie McGinnis was interviewed in a camera room. It was recorded, and his phone was downloaded.
Right. And where are the charges? Where are the charges for Grosskut's for reckless endangerment when he pointed a gun at Kyle? Those
would actually come if Kyle was found to be innocent. Both people can be innocent, and have the use of self-defense in this trial.
That's true.
Because this is a very basic bitch response, but say you're in a circular hall and somebody shoots themselves, and you don't have vision of it, so you go to where the gunshots are fired, and you see that there's a guy, he's got a gun, and his head's blown in. You see somebody across the hall now, because you're now in that hallway, and they have a gun. Each person assumes the other person is the shooter. They point their guns at each other and fire. Both individuals have self-defense arguments, and both have perfect self-defense. He had a gun. His gun was out. He was pointing it at me. I shot him. That is the perfect scenario of self-defense. If Kyle is found not guilty, as in fucking innocent, even though juries don't find you innocent, not guilty of the charge against Rosenbaum, as in that was itself self-defense, then him running is the only mitigating factor that causes other people to attack him, because Anthony Huber will be self-defense when he fired on Anthony Huber, causing self-defense. I think if anything, they're going to charge Kyle with the reckless shooting of Jump Kick Man.
It bugs the shit out of me that a state can bring charges with an unidentified victim.
Because he doesn't have a right to face his accuser.
Well, he does, because it's the state that's making the accusation.
On behalf of somebody who didn't press charges.
Right. Well, and then Richie McGinnis is on record as saying that he never felt threatened, but the state is still bringing those charges as well.
I will be waiting to hear that from the defense, because I got cut off, and I'm gonna have to turn into some other stream to watch that part. But apparently, I'm gonna have to go to a stream that was from one of the major stations, because even Raketa Law was dropped for copyright. Yeah, fuck with the lawyers. Smart move, Google.
Well, and Raketa Law was still on after Neo took a dive, and then somebody else that was doing it took a dive. And it was interesting because YouTube put up for, stream terminated for policy violation. But then Neo came back like 30 minutes later.
Yeah, I saw that because I was onto that, and it was already in the start of arguments. I was like, I gotta watch that. So I'm gonna start with opening arguments, and then I've got 5.5 hours, or apparently 6 according to you.
It goes till 6 p.m. It's a long day.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're 6. So Kenosha's 6 p.m. And it was my 5. It was like 4 minutes after 5 when they finally cut the stream.
Jesus. I might have to put on a pot of coffee, else I'll fall asleep.
Yeah.
I do not like Binger.
You're going to like Krause even less.
I didn't like Krause to begin with, but I felt there was, like, God, that guy was just... When DeBruin testified, and it just fucked his world up, and he just kept digging his hole.
Oh, yeah. Krause goes back. Krause spends way too much time on that in the rebuttal as well.
Dude, you're fired. You no longer have a job. You thought you were getting a promotion, you're getting fired. They're going to disbar you for that. Like, it's different when the defense, that, you know, the guy you're prosecuting says that you're a liar and that you pulled some shady shit. This was just a witness. So unless the bar is as shady as you fuckers, which I gotta admit, chances are they are, you're out of here.
Aw.
No way that's your first warning as a prosecutor. You're going. Enjoy your time on CNN. In 3 years, you'll be the one masturbating on the Zoom call.
You're fucking tubing. Jesus Christ. The media coverage of this is so...
He'd be guilty.
There's outrage in the courtroom with what the prosecution is doing. What the for-profit fucking media is doing is a whole nother level of beyond the fucking pale.
Lone survivor that night, the only man to make it out of Kenosha alive. Cage Quishkers being interviewed by Michael Strahan. What was it like to face down a white supremacist?
Yeah, fucking
I
straight.
didn't watch it. Did you watch it?
Not the entirety of it. I've just seen clips.
You watched any of it? I didn't watch any of it.
I cannot stand gross cuts. Lefty needed to be annihilated, and it's a travesty that he was not. And the fact that he gets to go on... Number one, it's dubious to have a witness in an ongoing trial to give a press conference during said trial, let alone to church him up as the lone survivor. It is dubious to even have him give an interview until this trial is fucking done. Number two, where the hell is Richie McGinnis, and why isn't he doing the exact same shit Gross Cuts is doing if this is the case?
Probably wanted to be done with the whole damn thing.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did.
Oh no, hold on. Let's see.
Who's Richie's buddy? What's his nuts? Hernandez.
Drew. Well, Frank, but Drew.
Drew Hernandez. I really don't think he helped the defense. I mean, he fucking made Binger look like an ass, but that's not hard. Binger is an ass, but I don't think he helped the defense much.
I don't think he hurts. That's for sure. Drew is on Timcast tonight.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. So
that's why we're low on viewers tonight.
I would blow us off for most things, but
agreed.
Rittenhouse prosecutor aims rifle at jury, finger on trigger with Drew Hernandez.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Well, and just to say this, yes, Binger is a fucking idiot for doing that. The defense attorney also had horrible trigger discipline.
Yes.
But
like the entire jury.
But he did have the armor, I guess, for lack of a better term, double check to make sure.
It doesn't matter.
To check it.
It doesn't matter. You never put your finger on a trigger.
No, I understand that
when a person, you always treat a firearm as if it's loaded.
When it comes to trigger discipline, I totally agree with you, Josh. What I'm saying though is that the defense at least had the armor verify it was unloaded. Everybody knew it was unloaded anyway, but he made a point to have the armor verify that it was unloaded. where I don't think the prosecution did.
Yeah. Good Lord, that's just stupid. That's just stupid on so many fucking levels, man.
And what has come to light is in this trial that when it comes to guns, gun knowledge, technology, and technical knowledge, never trust the state nor even your defense team to get that shit correct, because they have gotten it wrong the entire fucking time.
Yeah. I do like the judge who's like, did you mean expand? Like, no, Judge, he probably didn't. But because you caught it, he's going to say he did. He was going to try to convince a jury of Wisconsins that AR-15 rounds explode in people's bodies.
Well, we know from the Kennedy trial that the bullets, they come out whistle clean.
We know from the Kennedys, you can drive a girl into a lake and come out clean as well.
Yep, that's true.
Didn't Laura Bush also have a DUI where it killed somebody?
I don't know about that particular Bush, but I'm sure other Bushes did. So what else we got for tonight?
Did y'all hear about a particular politician who is so unliked that the administration does not know what to do with said person? I'll give you 3 guesses who it is.
Kamalama Ding Dong?
Only took one.
Kamala? What the hell's happening? I heard
they don't know
that Utah is no longer referring to Liz Cheney as a Republican.
Really? Didn't hear that. No, they're trying to figure out what to do with Kamala Harris, and they have no idea what to do. I think one of the jokes that's circulating in the administration is just have her sit at the computer in case an email comes in. Like, because they don't want her to run, not against Biden, because that's just not an upgrade.
No one voted for her.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. So either Joe has to run or she will run.
You're talking 2024.
Yeah.
Well,
And in the meantime, they don't know what to do with her because they're not giving her shit to do. That's, they vice presidential, which isn't much anyway.
Right. No, they need to keep her in the basement for when they 25th Joe, which I think they're going to try to get. Now, I originally thought they were going to just give him 100 days and then pull him and put in Kamala. But apparently, I'm adjusting that so that they're going to do it one day after halfway through the term so that Kamala can get a shot at 10 years as opposed to just 6.
No one's voting for Kamala.
I know that, but they don't know that. And nobody has to vote for her when you can fortify an election.
Good luck.
Yeah, but the problem is that Joe Biden picked her to satiate or to satisfy the voting bloc, the black voting bloc, without really needing to. So now he's stuck with her.
He could have,
and he's elevated her needlessly.
He could have
again failing upwards.
What's her name? Rice.
Well, Biden falls upwards, so that's unsurprising.
Yeah, but there's other people he could have picked. He could have picked Stacey Abrams. He could have picked who was the chick that was in the Obama man that was
Rice.
Rice, yeah.
No, they were not going to pick Condi Rice. They
not
were
Condi.
No.
Susan Rice.
Susan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
Yeah, they're definitely not picking
the Bush
Condoleezza.
administration.
I'm picking from the wrong bushel. My bad.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk for a second about the sabotage because at this point I feel it has to be sabotage of the Biden children. There was literally in 2016 or 2018, Hunter Biden rented a car and left in the rental car not only cut up cocaine, but his driver's license in that pile of cocaine. That is the only way to prove it was Hunter's cocaine in that car.
And
then
when you get
we
to
have
that
Ashley
level,
Biden, huh?
When you get to Hunter's level, okay, it's not about trying to prove that you're innocent or trying to dodge a charge. When you get to that level, it's about what can I get away with and how brazenly can I get away with it.
Well, that's what we say about Hillary Clinton. The Clintons not only have to be able to get away with whatever that is, but they have to be seen getting away with it for their power.
Right.
But then we have Ashley Biden, who was in rehab for the election of her father, loses her diary. She leaves her diary behind. Her Ashley Biden. This is Ashley Biden's diary. Ashley Biden, daughter of Joe Biden, diary that claims he molested her in the shower. In the only place that you can't technically be charged with stealing something, leaving it behind in a hotel room. These kids were crying out to not have their father become president.
And on that note, I have to go to bed because I have work in the morning.
Good night, sweet prince.
So,
Good night,
will talk
Josh.
to you fellows later.
Night,
Yep.
Josh.
Yep.
Paul says she's the female version of Dan Quayle. She's a liability when tasked to do anything of importance. My favorite is the Dan Quayle quote of was it Dan Quayle who said that he was trying to leave the White House behind President Reagan, but he couldn't, so he had to go out behind the bushes. I believe that was a quote from Dan Quayle.
All I know is he misspelled potato. That's all I remember
What a
about
fucking
Quayle.
retard.
But
I
yeah,
hope these-
apparently the qualifying factor to become vice president is you have to be just so amazingly bland that you just fade into the woodwork.
worked for Mike Pence.
Mike Pence, Dan Quayle, Al
Did not work for
Gore.
Dick Cheney.
And for a while it worked for Joe Biden.
It is funny to think about, though, that Dick Cheney shot somebody in the face and he was still liked more than Kamala Harris.
Yep. And the Cheneys are pieces of shit.
Absolutely.
Always have been, kind of like the McCains.
I've started to defend the Obamas on the fact that they kept out the Romneys and the McCains from the White House. Like, sure,
Yeah, but at
he
what
killed
cost?
American citizens, but he kept the McCains and the Romneys out of the White House.
Like I
Put some
said, at what
respect
cost?
He also kept the Clintons out of the White House.
Yeah. So really, dude's an American hero.
In a way. In a way.
That's stretching it, but in a way.
I'll take that stretch.
So, Short Circuit.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't
I
watch
didn't
it.
watch
I don't
it.
want to watch it. Go away.
Johnny Five alive.
Input. Stephanie, input.
Las locos kick your balls. Las cocos kick your face.
I am disappointed that Tombstone didn't win or Heat, but I'm fine with Starship Trooper over the wild card, which I haven't checked it yet.
It's going to
so let me-
be well. Wait a minute. Next week's Demolition Man. What's winning now? Let's look. Hang on. Look it up.
That's what I was going to check. Hold up.
Looking.
Hold up.
Reviews.
Let's see. Vote. Escape from New York. Vote. Oh.
Oh, come on, man. Vote for a winner to keep out
Ooh, the wild card's way
wild
down.
card. Oh, thank God.
Yeah, it's actually Starship Troopers leading, which is I'm fine with that. Tombstone, which
Yeah,
honestly,
like I said.
Tombstone should probably beat Starship Troopers, and then
I agree.
and then Heat,
Uh,
and then Escape from New York.
I don't know. I mean, as far as politics go, they don't really cover it, but Wyatt Earp is the first real infringement on the Second Amendment that the United States saw. He implemented no carry in Dodge City,
Yeah, you still can't carry a pistol in Tombstone.
yeah, and Tombstone eventually as well. But as far as it goes, the politics of Starship Troopers would be something I'd want to hear from Matt. I care less about the younger gang and the cowboys.
Starship Troopers is one of those things that if you've read the book, it's good in one way, and if you see the movie, it's good in another. But is Matt going to be able to put the camp and the cheese off of the movie and actually see it for what it is?
Well,
Service guarantees citizenship.
I worry about that because he needs to go back and change his Tremors view.
You
Because
know
if
that's
I
not
now
happening.
understand movies, I'm going to change my review of Tremors. It's the only problem I have. And if he doesn't, I'm somehow going to punish him with getting everybody to vote for the Isle of Dr. Monroe.
I'm going to actually rewatch Demolition Man. It's been a minute since I've seen it, so I want to see if it holds up.
It's
It
pretty
holds
good
up.
until you realize like how stupid the art department is when you look at the future of body armor. That's like, is that a fucking radiator hose on that guy's chest? That's what you wear in the future for body armor?
Okay, and here's something to watch. Garrick, have you seen Demolition Man?
Yes.
When did you see Demolition Man?
Earlier this year.
Okay, and you watched it
That's
from
your first time?
For the first time, yeah.
Okay, what service did you use to watch it?
Fucking something theaters.
I probably pirated it, honestly.
Okay, what were all restaurants?
Taco Bell.
Okay, good. Then you
Uh-huh.
got the original.
What was that? Pizza Hut?
I think they tried to change it to Pizza Hut.
I think that was the international audience or something.
Now, what I want to find is the original Star Wars where Han shot first. I'm having a damn hard time trying to find that.
You have to find it on
Do you have a
VHS.
VHS?
Ugh. Then
Does
I have
that
to
have it?
digitize it? Fuck.
Or you could just watch it on a VHS.
Who has a VHS? And also, VHSs wear out
Uh,
eventually.
I have one.
All of my
And-
favorite movies are on VHS.
And I have the Han Shot First version of Star Wars.
Same.
Can you send me a digital copy?
I don't have a capture card. If you want to send me a capture card, I will most happily send you a digitized
What-
copy.
A capture card. What is this thing of which you speak?
The capture card.
It is a card that goes in the computer that you can run signal into that you can then use to record it and digitize it.
Oh.
It is what every game streamer uses to capture their games and broadcast them. I shouldn't say every, because you could do like what we're doing here and just use the same computer as the broadcast machine as the game machine, which my machine would do, but a lot of people have anemic game machines and need a secondary machine to do the broadcast. So they put a capture card in the secondary machine and stream the game into that, which then pushes the video out to the internet. And why can't I think of the name of the most popular capture cards? It's like EN something.
Yeah, but you need to capture it from what? You have it on your computer already? Or you have to capture it from your VHS?
El Gato. You need El Gato. I should remember that. It's the cat. But yeah, you need that so that I can take the video signal that's coming out of the VHS, push it into the capture card, so that I can then use my computer to record it.
BBC. Oh, I guess it's BBC. So
Dude.
it says Kyle Rittenhouse jury to decide fate of U.S. teen gunman.
That is a factually accurate BBC headline.
Yeah, I mean, U.S. gunman, kind of. And I saw it was from BBC.
Well, it's not going to be a British gunman, because that doesn't happen, right?
Yeah. Just those Norwal assaulters.
No, Mike, Kyle is not free yet.
Yet.
I'm worried, man. I think the jury is going to come back with a split decision.
Hershey unveiled its largest Reese's peanut butter cup and called it a Thanksgiving pie. 3,000 sold out in hours. I don't think my teeth could handle that pie. Jesus Christ.
I'd eat it, but I'd die.
I didn't. I'd die. So I want to talk about the wicked, sweet, I mean, fucking hilarious, so funny Pete Davidson impersonation of Joe Rogan.
Pete Davidson can eat a dick? Probably does.
Well, he was pretending to be Joe Rogan.
Frankly,
So
I don't care.
Yeah, he's never been funny as far as I know.
He was mildly funny in some of his roasts, but that's dark humor, which is just dark humor, and I just do not find him funny.
The only way SNL is going to get any credit back is if they have Alec Baldwin back and make fun of him for shooting somebody.
George Takei fires shots at Joe Rogan over autofellatio comments. I never heard Joe Rogan claim he could fellate himself. But both apparently George Takei and Pete Davidson have. So did I miss that?
I know not of what you speak. I know both George Takei and Pete Davidson are ginormous pieces of shit.
Well, either good on Joe Rogan for being able to blow himself, or shame for spreading such a disappointing rumor. I watched the
He
Red
probably,
Notice.
you know what it was? It was probably that Joe Rogan was talking about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and how somebody tied him in a knot that he was basically, I was so tied up in a knot I could suck my own dick. Some sort of offhanded comment like that.
Probably.
And they're running with it.
I wouldn't be surprised because that's all they think about. So I saw Red Notice, starring The Rock and Gal Gadot and fuck that's Big E, Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, my wife watched
And
that last night. My wife watched that last night.
Yeah. And for some reason, Ed Sheeran was on. And I am now absolutely 100% not a fan of Ed Sheeran.
Why were you before?
I wasn't before, but I was like, oh, that's the redhead guy, and apparently he's got songs girls like. Don't think I've heard an Ed Sheeran song that I could recognize as an Ed Sheeran song, but he is now like they're trying to make him lovable, which makes me worried that they're doing the same thing as Mother Teresa and Tom Hanks, and he is a gigantic piece of shit apparently. They had him go off and attack the cops that were trying to detain him. I don't know why you would try to detain Ed Sheeran during arrest of somebody else, but I was like, oh, they're trying to make him a thing. I don't like that.
Off of the Ed Sheeran thing, the reason I don't want to watch Red Notice is because I really like Ryan Reynolds, and I really like The Rock, and I really like Gal Gadot, and I don't want to not like them.
They walk a fine line, but they're also likable at the end.
Okay.
Like they fight and whatnot, but at no point is anybody like guns are pointed, but no one actually really tries to kill each other. Like they're like the honest thief or whatever.
Gotcha. I didn't care for 3 is really what I want.
Yeah.
I still need to go see Free Guy as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. I'm just hoping Steven will send it to me.
Who's not here this evening, apparently?
He had a busy weekend. He was volunteered for some charity thing. But what else we got? Anything? Anybody? Anyone? We can get going. We can get out of here. I can cry. I've got fucking apparently 6.5 hours of courtroom footage to watch so that I can be pedantic as all hell.
Do yourself a favor and watch it at least 1.5 speed.
No. I would, because Binger is slow as shit. Richards isn't. Who? Richards or Corey?
I think it's Richards.
I don't like him. I don't really like Corey that much. I didn't like any lawyers. Unshocking. I don't like lawyers, apparently.
Richard reminds me of Tommy Lee Jones. I get a very Tommy Lee Jones vibe from him.
Tommy Lee Jones has charisma. Richards did not. I get the Tommy Lee bitchiness from him. I definitely got the Tommy Lee Jones bitchiness from Richards, but
yeah.
Your Honor, it uses 3D holographic algorithmic. Did you mean holographic?
He's got that Wisconsin accent.
It was just disappointing how I, as a layperson, could see reasonable objections and their failure to be able to adequately describe the bullshit shenanigans that the state was trying to pull which led to really devastating consequences in the case for Kyle. Enhancement is enhancement. Zoom inside of a recorded file is bullshit. I don't even like digital zoom in movies. It literally pisses me off when I see it. Especially in R to PG-13 horror movies. When you see the frames suck up on each other and cut in instead of panning. It's like, God damn it.
Hey, Steven, Telegram is the one that needs your phone number, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Twitter's starting to be like that now, isn't it? Or
Yeah.
has been?
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I haven't needed to set one up since my first one, so.
I tried to set up another dummy Twitter account, and the second I changed my name, I was typing Liberative, and I typed LIB, and it came back and said, nope, you're locked out. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's why I'm fucking Matt Stone or whatever the hell my name is. I'm not the character from a Chuck Norris movie. Yeah, you need to turn on your VPN, grab one of your kids' cell phones, create an account, and an email address. Send it to yourself. And once you set it up, then turn on your VPN and log in on the interwebs.
Yeah, but the VPN on my phone kills the battery.
What VPN are you using?
What do I have on here?
You could just use it on your home computer.
I think this is OnePlus. And then I have another one, which I've forgotten the name of, and I'm not even sure if it's even installed on this phone, because I had it on the old phone, and I don't know if I used it on this phone yet or not.
Oh, Steven says Matt Stone's a South Park character. Yeah, it's Matt Hunter. Never mind. It was, I think it was Invasion USA. It was some movie from 1979.
I'm going to make myself a cream corn account.
You mean Corn Pop?
No, green corn. From Black Dynamite.
Cream corn. For Black Dynamite, I sell drugs in the community.
Be that as it may.
Steven says he tried Virtual Shield, and there's a bunch of reasons he didn't like it.
Yeah, I have to go back and look at it. I think mine is begins with an A, and I can't remember the name of it. Let me see if it's on this phone. It'd be on the first page of the applications. Yeah, I never installed it on this phone.
Surfshark is much better for what he does. So Steven uses Surfshark.
I have Telegram on this phone. Why do I have Telegram on this phone?
Oh, do you? Because you're not on my list of...
Oh, no, that's what I did. I tried to install Telegram, and when they asked for my phone number, I told them to eat a dick. That's what it was.
Blonde didn't respond to my my question about... that was my question? Pull it up real quick. I asked her...
Oh, PIA. That's the VPN I have. Private Internet Access.
In a fight, how old's your kid, and are you taking her trick-or-treating? Never got the response, so I'm thinking if she doesn't message me soon, I'm just going to call her.
Let's see. We'll test this VPN. See how it is. It says I'm out of Texas now.
Even though it has her marked as having read it. All right, let's get out of here.
Okay. We'll see what this week brings. When's the Smollier trials? That's at the end of the month, right?
Yeah, it's the only one we got left. Don't forget, people, that
We got the Aubrey case.
well, Aubrey, yeah, but Ghislaine is a federal case, so we were not going to hear or see anything of that, as well as the what's his fuck? Don Lemon.
Oh, the nigger faggot?
The case of him and the taint
demonetized.
sniffing bartender or waiter, whatever he was. Was he just an attendant? I don't know.
We're not gonna. That's not going to be broadcast.
It's federal. I said they're not going to be broadcast.
Oh, okay. That's a federal case.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Are they going to pull Don Lemon off the air while that goes on, or what?
Would be nice, but it's only going to be like a day or two. I mean, it's literally a he said, she said. There's no...
Right.
Maybe there's a witness. He said, because they're gays. He's gay, right? The dude?
No, I don't
No,
know.
the other dude.
I don't know if the bartender is.
Well, I assume so, since he didn't get his punch out Don Lemon's lights for wiping his nut sweat on him. All right. I feel like I'm missing a trial. Smollett, Ghislaine, Don Lemon,
Arbery.
Maybe that's what it is. Oh, they're starting the lawsuits against Tyson's Food by
You forgot a big one, dude. Well,
Barnes.
we don't know when they're going to start it. It keeps getting delayed.
The dumpster defender one.
Yep.
That's next
January.
year. Yeah, it's next year.
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
I don't particularly care for the Ahmed Arbery case. Like I have like no investment in it. It was kind of stupid to mount up and go after a dude that you're not sure anything happened. But this is more of a vigilante thing because the guy had a gun stolen from his car. So it's not like the dumpster defender case or the that I saw it. You know, there's video, but I'm just not as invested in this case because it seems just like I don't like the good old boy narrative bullshit, but at the same time, I'm just not. I don't have the same investment. You know, it's not self-defense on trial. It's hunting down an asshole who may or may not have robbed the city,
Right.
or the street. What do you guys think about it?
No, I think these guys are going to swing. So.
You do? Damn.
Like, dude, you were a cop and an investigator. Should have had a better idea than that. You didn't handle it properly at all.
Right. I'm interested to see what's going to happen in the Juicy Smollier case.
Yay.
Because they're gonna pull some fucking shit. They're gonna pull some shit on that one. They're gonna pull some.
Well, they had to bring in an
level,
outside prosecutor.
Hollywood level bullshit on that one, dude. You wait for it. It's coming.
Hey, man, justice for Juicy.
He committed the crimes, genius.
I know. Still funny to say, though.
Okay. His sister's cute, though.
Is she?
Yeah, she's the black chick in the half black chick in Birds of Prey.
I did not watch that.
She's Black Canary.
Oh, hang on. Juicy.
I haven't sent you pictures. I have like a Jewish crush on her. Because of course they're Jews.
Sister. Journey or Jazz?
Look up Birds of Prey. It's a very, very shallow crush.
Oh. Okay, not bad.
Journey.
Journey. I love her.
Black Canary. Is Journey Smollett black? Yeah, that's a pretty fetching picture.
And yeah, she was able to look good, unlike Robbie. Margot is not allowed to look good.
She's all right. She's like a 7.
Well, she's a 9. That was allowed to look like a 7, though.
Now I'm just looking at general Google pics of her, and she's like a 7.
Well, look it up in movies where they pull out all the strings.
So they churched a 7 into a 9, is what you're saying.
They shoehorned it, but, you know, I mean, you can't do 10 with that small of a body.
Yeah, she's married.
Who's she married to?
Still an 8, not a 9. It's not bad.
Yeah, she's cute, but she's no showstopper.
What were we talking about?
Journey Smollett.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Margot Robbie.
Oh wait, did they split? Yeah, they split. She was married to Josiah Bell, who has a Chris Rock and Kid from Kid and Play had a kid sort of look.
I'm not even sure if you know who Kid from Kid and Play is.
He's the Eraserhead. Come on now.
Pretty sure we've had this argument before.
Kid's the white one.
Well, yeah, I'll go with that. It's Chris Reed versus Chris Martin, but whatever. Yeah. But I used to like House Party.
It's a good movie, man.
What was the one where they pretended to be the other one? And they ended up changing Eraserhead's hair. And I was like, I feel like this was Chris Martin's plan the whole time. Let's get rid of that haircut. Because Chris Martin was the shorter of the two. And then Kid also had that 6 inches of fucking hair on top of his head. I have to go back and think if I saw Coming to America or that movie first to see what my first black stint at a barber shop was.
All right, we can be done.
All right, we're gonna be done. Let's post the link. That is too much of the link. Let's delete all the dumb shit. And that's the link. Let's get out of here.
Okay, say goodnight, everybody.
Not everybody. Hey, hit like and
everybody.
subscribe for all future things.
What?
So hit like and subscribe for all future events.
Oh yeah, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Yada yada yada. Whatever.
Be sure to share it with your friends.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
I don't do that.
Yeah, please.
Well,
do.
share it with the friends you don't really like.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. I'm with the hell on that one.
All right. Say goodnight, Garrett.
Good night, guys.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Well, I believe in good vibrations is what creates a beautiful nation.